Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 83. This morning is a Wednesday morning, and I'm on my way to one of my longer trips. I am leaving before 7 a.m., and right now it looks like it's about 48 degrees outside. One thing I have to do real quick is stop and get some gas, and then I will have to get gas on the way home as well, but that's life. Not very happy about the way gas prices have been going up, but not much we can do. Maybe drill, I don't know, drill for oil because we need it. And Tesla sales are going down because people are not that excited about electric vehicles and people like gas burning vehicles. I don't know, maybe I'm way off, but if you don't drill and you move to electric, you're still going to have higher gas prices. So, and of course, places like my state and other states penalize you for having an electric vehicle, even a hybrid vehicle, by charging you a higher tax on your renewal of your tags, because you're going to pay less taxes in gas. So it's not like there's an incentive for it. So I actually end up paying more than everybody else for my tags, and I still use more gas than everybody else, so I pay more there. So, you know, it could be worse, but anyway. Right now, I am on my way to my first stop. Like I said, I'm going to stop for some gas. Already had a decent week for only having a Monday and Tuesday so far. And what am I coming up on here? It looks like a big accident on a 2-lane highway when there's no bad weather. I don't know what happened here, but there's cars all over the road, spread out everywhere. Anyway, alright, I'm going to let you go, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I'm back. So, I want to talk to you about a rigged game that I found, and that is a credit card. And so, my bank offered me a certain amount, I forget what it is now, 1,000, 100, whatever it was, if I got a credit card and I used it and spent a certain amount of money, and then I would get a bonus. So that's fine. I did that, and I saw the points appear, and I went to go use the points, and this was a smaller amount. I went to use the points, and it wouldn't let me use the points until I had to check a box that basically said that use the points automatically. Okay, now since this happened, of course, now I've learned you need to use the points for things other than a statement credit, but I didn't know it at the time. And so I paid the full statement amount for the month except for what the points would pay, because I checked the box, used the points automatically to pay the bill. So then I check my balance, and I have a balance of $2.28. Thinking, why would I have a balance if the points were used? And I looked at it, and the balance was due on March 27th or 26th, and I had paid the bill way before that. And on the 27th, they added the interest, and then on the 28th, they deducted the amount using the points. So what they're doing is they're forcing you, if you're using points, to pay them interest, because there's no other way, right? So if you had a $100 balance and $1 worth of points, and you paid $99, you're going to pay interest on the $1, right? Or if you paid the whole $100, they're not going to use the points because there's no balance. So they set you up so you have to get an interest charge if you have the credit card. So if you were going to get $1,000, let's say, instead of $100, you're going to pay $20 or $30 or $40. So that's what happened here. I called them up with the intention of canceling the card, and I said, look, you guys are basically screwing people here. You're forcing people to pay interest, and she had no problem with removing it. So I guess I'm keeping the card. I actually don't really want the card. I'm thinking about still canceling it, but not today. I'll wait until all this stuff clears, maybe wait a month or two, and then cancel it. They gave me a $18,000 credit limit on it, but one of my newer cards, and newer cards bring down your credit score because it brings your average age of your credit down. So I probably will not keep this one. I probably will keep the 2 Chase Ink cards that I got, because those together are like $66,000. So those would be a lot more useful to have. You can charge bigger things on there. So anyway, all right, so right now I am 32 miles away from the first casino. It's light out. It's a very cloudy day. Still a cool day. It's down to 46 degrees right now, and we'll see how things go. I'm confident about having a good day today. The goal today is going to be to hit 4 to 6 casinos. Definitely play blackjack at least 2 casinos, possibly 3 or 4. So we'll see how things go. So right now I'm going to let you go, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. That was just about one of the biggest catastrophes I've ever had. It was actually misguided, misdone, terrible. I blame myself for a lot of it, but it was overall just awful. Let me kind of replay it here in my head. I walk into this place, I'm checking machines, don't really see anything, and I play one machine. Finally, I'm ahead $10, move on to another machine, play that. It's in excellent position. I mean, like, hard to find. You know, this is incredible. I'm going to play this. Lost, I don't know how much. It's so confusing now. I think I lost 60 something on that one at $1 a spin when it was in incredible position. So walk around, see nothing, get aggravated. I'm like, you know what? I never play blackjack here, and right now is actually the worst possible time for me to start playing blackjack here. So let me start playing blackjack here. This is the casino that I'm getting the free trip from, that I only play slots at, and I get frustrated and I play blackjack at this casino. I go into the high limit area, and let me replay this here. Buy in for 500, get that up to about 950 right away. So I'm ahead 450 right away. Then keep playing, go on an incredibly bad run, losing 15 out of 17 hands from the end of one shoe to the beginning of the other shoe. The player playing next to me wins about $500 on the most awful shoes you can imagine. He takes off, goes to the other table. And I noticed the dealer is cutting a little bit thick, so he's cutting like 1 1/4, 1 1/2. And I confront him about it. First of all, they're using an 8-deck shoe, an actual shoe for 8 decks, and they're playing 6 decks, right? Then they're only playing about 4 3/4, sometimes worse penetration. So I'm getting ready to leave at this point. I'm like, all right, I'm about even. Let me just get out of here. And then another guy comes to the table, and he sees me, witnesses me losing all those hands in a row, or almost all the hands. And he's just shaking his head. He gets a marker for $5,000. And then the dealer goes on break. Well, at the end of that next shoe, the count was okay, things had stabilized, and the new dealer gives us like 0.8, 0.9 penetration. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to stick around and see what happens. So meanwhile, there's a cop watching, and this cop, I've talked about her before, and I've talked to her before. She's a gambler, and she can gamble at that casino because she doesn't work for the casino. She works for the police department, so she's allowed to play there. So she'll often play blackjack there. So when I'm there, and I haven't seen her in 8 months probably, but whenever I'm playing blackjack, she's standing watching blackjack because she doesn't want to do her job. She wants to play blackjack, so she's watching people play blackjack. All right, so all these dynamics going on, right? So the cop is watching. The dealer, the regular dealer, is dealing incredibly fast, and he was talking about how they're auditing him. More red flags I disregard. they're auditing him to see how fast he's going, and he's in so-and-so position, and he was in first place, and now he's not, and they're cheating and all this. And I think he's making the cut a little thicker, thinking that maybe that's, you know, how many shoes that he deals out. And he made some mistakes. Let's talk about some of this stuff here. First of all, let's talk about a crazy hand that happened. A hand with a slightly negative count, not a huge negative, but slightly negative count. I'm playing one hand and the other player is playing two hands. Between the two of us and the dealer, we used 21 cards in one hand. 21 cards. So that's pretty amazing right there. I mean, think about it. That's, you know, 5 cards per hand, you know, average. That's pretty high. The first, let's see, he had a 2-2, a 2-2, and I had a 2-5, and he split, and the dealer had a 5, so they're all 2s and 5s. He splits, gets a 2 and then a 5. Craziness, right? And so on. I don't remember the rest of the hand, okay? It's not important. So this dealer is trying to play incredibly fast. I have 2 hands out there. Okay, I'm spreading one hand at 50 to 2 hands at 300. Danger in this area. Don't do that. This is not a good place to do spreading from one hand to 2 hands, but I did it anyway. So I'm doing everything that I could possibly do wrong right now. So I've got 2 hands out there. Both of them are 11s. I've got, I think, 150 on each. I think something like that, because something happened the hand before and I used that to whatever. So 150 on each. The first hand, I've got enough change. I put out the 150, I get an 8 or 9, something good. The other hand is a 4-7, and I put 100 out to the dealer to get me change. He deals the card and deals me a 10. And he's like, that's okay, I don't care. And I'm like, well, what if it was a 3? Then I would have called the pit, and then what should I do? Is it a double? And just, you know, do the things the right way. So anyway, he let me bet the 150 on that. I ended up getting a 10, obviously, and I won, I think, both of those hands. But I'm slowly losing money. So I'm down 500, and then when I lose that 500, I have a big count, and I rebuy for 1,000, so now I'm in for 1,500. And then the next one I buy in for 500, so now I'm in 2,000. The next one I buy in for 1,000, so now I'm in 3. And then I have 2 4s against a 6, so I split. But that was my last money, so I'm in for 3,000 at that point. I have my last 300 on the table, so I get change. I get 600 from my pocket. And I did it on purpose, where I had $400 bills and 220s because I didn't want to break another band of money, right? So I didn't want to do that in front of them. So I had some 20s. I used that, put it out there. The dealer approves it. I split and I double. I don't know why I got 600 instead of 3, but I needed it. I split and I double, and whatever happens, I win 1 and I lose the double, I think. And if I hadn't split, I would have had a 20. Not important, but, you know, these are things that you think about. Anyway, now I'm starting to come back. So as soon as I have that, I'm in 3,600. As soon as I have the, you know, 12 or 1,400, I put 600 on the side, so it helps me remember how much I'm in. I know I need 3,000 more with the other stack. So I start playing, I get up to 1,500, down to 5, back up to 15, down to 1,000, up to 25 or 24, somewhere in there. And I have a decent count, and everything happens the wrong way at the right time. It was the most sick thing. So now I'm raising my bet, right? And the pit boss is watching me. So I raised it less than I normally would, because I have a decent count, like a true 2. I really should be, the way I was doing it, I would have been betting, well, I guess it was about right. Well, maybe it was a higher, anyway, I don't know. I don't remember the details, but I put out 2 hands at 250, knowing if I win a hand, I push a hand or something like that, I'd be close to even. It was toward the end of the shoe. I wanted to finish up there. I'd been there too long. I'd been there over an hour. So I put 2 hands at 250 out there. The first hand, I get 2 queens. The second hand, I get a blackjack. I'm like, yes, right? I'm doing the fist bump. And the dealer's giving himself his last card, and I make a big mistake. I said, you don't even need that card. Just play with 1 card. I win. Let's get out of here. And he pulls the other card out, and he calls the pit boss, and he's like, I think I did this wrong. I think I didn't have a card. I ended up taking 2 cards. Oh my God, are you kidding me? The cop is right there. She's agreeing with me. You did it all right. It was just a stupid joke. I just wanted to get out of there. He calls surveillance. Surveillance is up there for 10 minutes checking it out. I'm like, this is about the worst thing that could happen. Little did I know it was about to get worse. Takes forever, and then the dealer, the pit boss, decides to be funny, and he said, oh, it's a dead hand. And I'm like, no, there's no way it's a dead hand. And he like jokes around for like a minute. Like, you SOBs, a-holes. I'm like, you guys, really, you see where I am. You see that I'm down. You see I have a big bet out there. You see I have a 20 and a blackjack, and now you're screwing around pretending that you're going to kill the hand. So finally he's like, no, just play it. I'm like, great. Well, that's so I can get out of here. So dealer's got a 5 of hearts. I'd already seen the 5 of hearts at this point, so that even more reason where I wanted to keep my hand. You know, if it was an ace, you know, it would be a little bit different. But 5 of hearts, he flips over a 10, flips over a 6, gets a 21. So I get paid on the blackjack, and I lose the 20. And I am just pissed. I'm like beside my, I'm out of here. That's it. I'm getting out of here. Color me up. It was exactly 3,600. Exactly. So I'm exactly even at this point, and I'm pissed. And they want to give me $1,000 chips. This is a sweaty casino. I don't want your filthy $1,000 chips. Give me $500 chips. They finally give me the $500 chips. Then there's all a big joking around. Oh, you know, whatever. So I get out of there. I go to the cashier. There's a huge line. I got 3,600 in chips. The limit's 3,000. I'm not even going to get close to that. And I'm going to color up. I'm going to cash out 2,100. So finally I get through the cashier line. I get my 2,100. I still have 1,500 in chips in my pocket. I decide to take one more lap to take a look at the slots. Now it's packed in here. It was, I don't know, one of those giveaway days probably, but so it's packed in the casino. I look around, don't see anything. I lose another $25. Now I'm down, whatever, 75, I think, something like that. And I finish up at a machine. I pull the ticket out, and the ticket gets jammed. At the same time it gets jammed, and I'm pulling it out, it rips the ticket in half. So now I've got half a ticket, the other half is in the machine. I push the service button, nobody comes. I'm using my keys to try to get it out. I finally get it out. I rip a corner of it, but it's nowhere where there's any kind of scanner or anything, a barcode or anything. So I find a person who is paying out a jackpot. I say, hey, you have a piece of tape? They're like, oh, no, we don't have tape. Go back to the cashier. Now, at these casinos, I'm at the higher tier, but I never use my card for blackjack or anything. But I just cashed out 2,100 in front of these people. But I'm in a hurry. The line is like 14 people deep now. There's only 2 cashiers. When I got there was only 1. So I go there. I stand in the VIP line. Luckily, they don't ask me for my card. They tape it up. They cash it out. I'm like, I'm not even done. You know, I wanted just a voucher. But they cash me out. I walk around. I find one other play. It hits right away. And I end up leaving down $25, I believe. $25. Exactly. So down $2,500 on the slots after being there for freaking ever. I'm so upset. And I was dead even on the blackjack, which is a sin in itself. Getting all those high counts at the end, getting a 20 and a blackjack. And really, if the pit boss wasn't there, I probably would have put more out, but I was acting like I was frustrated already, which made it even more easy when I really was frustrated. So I put out the chips I had right in front of me. and just terrible start to the day. It's already afternoon. I should already be at my third casino right now, and I'm still a long way from my second casino. I've got a meeting with the doctor over the phone at 5 o'clock, so I'm going to have to quit what I'm doing for that and see what happens. And yeah, so one of those frustrating days. You know, maybe you've run into some of those days. Let me know about it if you have. I want to hear your stories. If they're good stories, I may even talk about them on the air here. But yeah, so anyway, moving on. Minus 25 after 2.5 hours, and we'll see what happens from here. Alright guys, I'm still on my way to the second place, but I wanted to mention something else that happened. When I went back to the cashier the second time, there was a lady standing there, and a security officer walked up to her, and she said, "I guess I've been a bad girl." She's like in her 70s. And security said, "Okay, tell me what happened." And she said, "Well, I banned myself from this other casino about 4 years ago, and it was supposed to be for 1 year. And then I came here and I tried to get a card because she was there with her friends, and they wouldn't give it to her, and it was a big deal, and she got embarrassed in front of her friends and all this stuff." And this is actually a unique situation. This casino is related to another casino pretty far away, not too far away, but one of the casinos I'm going to visit today. It's in a different state. And she banned herself from online gaming, and somehow, I guess, it translated to both online and land-based gaming at the other casino. But because this casino shares information with the other casino, they banned her from here. Although her ban was up at the other place, they did not remove it from their computers here. So he was discussing it with her. I don't know if he let her play or not because I left. But this is the exact same situation that happened to me. So my home casino that I used to play at, I banned myself from there years and years ago because I didn't want to lose any more money. And I didn't want to keep myself from working and making money, and just the time that I would lose also. So I banned myself for a year, and then I came back. I did everything the proper way, and actually, another interesting side story there. I banned myself for a year. I go play a poker home game, and who's there but one of the dealers from the casino with these big dreadlocks and stuff, big black guy, muscular guy. And so I beat the hell out of this guy in this poker game. I've never had a run like that. I beat him out of like $1,300, and we're playing 1-2. So he's all pissed off. He leaves. And then it's time for me to go back to this casino to get back into the casino. You're supposed to go in, talk to security, and fill out paperwork and all that. So I go in, I go to the cashier. That's the first thing I can think of is go over there. I know people there. I know the manager of the cashiers. I know this guy over there. And I see this guy, and he's not busy. And I say, "Hey, whatever your name is, this is what's going on." He calls security to call the police on me because I'm banned. And I'm like, "No, I'm following all the directions. I'm supposed to come in at a certain time and do this." And he's like, "Oh, well, that's not supposed to be for a few hours. You have to leave." So I said, okay. So I talked to, I don't remember what happened that day. I ended up getting back in that casino. Played there for years after that until I finally got banned for counting cards. So moving forward a couple of years, I'm at a different casino in a different state, the same company. And it was years after this, and I had not been banned from the home casino yet, but I was starting to think I was going to be, so I was exploring other casinos in the area. And I go to play blackjack. I give them my card, and it becomes this big deal. They have to call a manager. It takes forever, and finally they let me play. And I'm like, the whole time, I'm like, look, I'm not supposed to be here. Why would I walk up to you and hand you my card? That doesn't make any sense. So they let me play, and I never used my card there again, before and after I got banned from my home casino. But I did play slots there, and I still, every once in a while, will play slots there. So one time I won a jackpot for like $4,500 there, and they give me a hard time about the jackpot. And then they're like, okay, no, never mind. Everything's okay. You can play. The next time I go there, I win another jackpot, and it happens again. So now I'm very reluctant. The manager's like, oh, well, every time you come in here from now on, it's going to flag you, and then the manager's going to have to clear it. But for the rest of the day, you don't have to worry. I put a note in the computer. So I understand what happened with that lady, and, you know, it can happen. But anyway, letting you go. I'm about 30 minutes away from the next spot. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So I did finally make it to the next casino. I walked in there, and there was a lot of stuff going on in there, a lot of noise, a lot of people, a lot of tables open, but all of them bad tables. I did finally find one table to sit at, started playing for a while, and didn't really get involved too long because there was another guy coming to the table. It was a negative count. I wanted him to get in, and he just sat there and kept delaying the dealer and delaying the dealer. I played a few hands, which I lost, and the count was still negative, and it wasn't going the right direction. So I ended up finally leaving ahead 550 on that. That was the only table that I could play, and he was sitting there, and he was talking, but he wasn't buying in and playing, and I'm not going to sit around the whole time and lose money throughout the whole shoe just because he wants to talk to the dealer. So I used that as an excuse to get up and leave. Plus 550, and then I did play, how many slots did I play? 1 or 2 slots, and actually 3 slots. I lost money on 2 of them, won money on 1, actually won money on 2 and lost money on 1, ended that ahead 77. So plus 77 on slots, plus 550 on blackjack. Moving on to another casino, and actually this casino is giving away some t-shirts in about half an hour, but I'm not really too worried about that. I'm going to move on and make the EV because I desperately need to win some money. So let's go get the hours in and make some money. I do want to stop by some local stores in the area if I get a chance, just depending on how busy things are. Unfortunately, with the blackjack, I was hoping to play a lot of sessions and hit the casinos twice on different shifts, but unfortunately they are already on their afternoon shift, so it's going to be like 4 or 5 hours for most of these places before they change shifts again. So I'm most likely only going to get one shot at each of these casinos. I did see this one guy that goes from place to place aggravating people, and he was walking into this casino as I was walking out, so hopefully he's wrapping up his day and not starting his day, because he's a pain in the butt, and I really don't want to see him at all the other casinos. So anyway, with all that going on, let's see, temperature is down to 41 degrees. The further we get into the day, the colder it gets. So 41 degrees right now, and moving on to the next casino, I may meet a friend at this casino as well, so I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. So, man, had another rocky one there, and right now I've got other issues going on, other problems going on. So, when I walk into this casino, I look briefly at some slots, don't really see much, and I move on. I go to look at blackjack, and the tables are full. I'm looking at the time, I'm already behind, I'm already frustrated from before. I'm keeping it together though, and I'm patient. I wait, and I get on a table finally, and I start to play, and the table is just playing miserably. Originally, this table was a high limit table, and because they had so many people who had tables reserved for them, they allowed me to play the table even without a player's card. They lowered the limit for me so I could play. So I sat down, started playing this table, and just getting destroyed right off the bat. Nothing going my way, and I'm losing time, and I'm down. I get down about 3,000 actually. I was involved for as much as 3,000, and just nickel and diming him, trying to win my money back. And I have a good little burst at the end there. I get all my money back. I think I'm ahead like 400 or 500. I push my chips in, and all my stacks are the wrong size because I'm not paying attention because my mind is everywhere. And so I ended up ahead like 400, and I wasn't happy with that. I wanted 1,000. I'm looking at the time. Okay, I'm going to play a little bit longer, back and forth, back and forth. And finally, I ended up leaving at the end of a shoe ahead 800. Now, that sounds great and everything, but at this point, I was supposed to meet somebody at this casino. So now he's just showing up to the casino, and I am looking at some slots. I finally finished playing one slot. I end up ahead $25, and I'm just trying to figure out what to do because my wife asked me if I could take my son to baseball practice. Now, baseball practice is about a mile away from our house, which is about almost 200 miles from where I am at this moment. Nobody else can really take him. I have one other person that could take him if it's an emergency, but that's it. And then someone needs to stay with him the whole time because he's a little kid. You can't just drop him off and leave. So I talked to somebody. They're going to be a backup for me, and I am going to head back toward home right now. I still need to stop at the casino I was at this morning to cash these chips, which I probably will not do at this point. But I'm hungry, and I wanted to stop at this place to get these almonds. So I am going to do that. It only adds about 5 minutes to my trip. But if I go straight to this place and then straight home, I'll be 1 minute late. So anytime I spend in this place, I need to make up on the road by driving faster and hopefully without having any bad traffic. Now let me see. Look at the map. The map is totally clear all the way home, which means things could only get worse for me. So, oh shoot. Hold on here. Oh my goodness. I almost get myself killed here. Anyway, I was supposed to take an exit 2 lanes over, and I was about 50 feet away from it. Luckily, I got there, and I'm on my way right now. So we'll see what happens. So far today, I ended up ahead another $800 on blackjack and another $25 on slot machines, and I'm heading toward home. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if practice will get canceled. If it's not canceled, what's happening? And I have a 5 o'clock appointment with a doctor that we're going to do over the phone while I'm driving. So a lot of moving parts, a lot of things happening, and maybe I bit off more than I could chew today, but we'll see what happens. So right now I'm going to let you go, and I will be back and update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. So just an update here. I did stop at that place. I did get some food, and I did get those almonds. And at home they are $6.99 a pound. At this place they are $1.49 a pound. So for me and some people that I know that like them, I got 22 pounds. So they'll all be gone in a couple days. But I may or may not be able to get back to this area again and get some more before it's too late. But it's nice that I was able to get that. So continuing on here, traffic has not been too bad, but I have been falling a little bit behind schedule. Right now I had to stop for gas. I had about 50 miles range left, and I'm entering a zone that's pretty much dead for gas stations, so I didn't want to cut it too close. It looked like I would make it out the other side with a couple miles left, but I really didn't want to risk it, and plus gas is cheaper in this area, so I did just fill up. And so where we are right now, I will be home about 8 minutes later than I should be. See, there's a speed trap up here, so I will get out of the way here until I pass that guy. But I have to make up, I have 101 miles to go, and I need to make up about 8 minutes. I think it's very possible. The only problem is the map does not show any delays, so it's not like traffic could improve and all of a sudden I could make it in time. So it's just going to have to be me grinding away, driving a little bit faster, and hoping I get there in time. So right now, temperature is up to, see, I told you there was a speed trap ahead. It's up to 48 degrees right now, heading toward home. It's cloudy, and I'll be back, let you know what's going on. I may get out tonight, actually, so I'll let you know what happens, though. And I have to talk to the doctor in about 10 minutes as well. So right now I'm gonna keep saying I want to slow down, and I didn't, but here I am. All right, I'm gonna talk to the doctor and keep heading toward home, and I'll be back soon. All right, guys, I am back. I am closing in on home. Right now, I'm still about 15 miles away from home. I'm going to get there about 3 minutes late. We should be fine. Hopefully, the boy is ready to go. I just called, and he's not home. So I've got everyone looking for him so he can get his uniform on and all that kind of stuff and be ready to go. So hopefully, that'll all work out, and I didn't just waste, hundreds of miles of driving for no reason and hurrying for no reason. Let me think here. What else? Today I give myself about a C-. I feel like my emotions got a hold of me. That's very rare for me to be like that. Usually I'll discuss it, that I'm happy or sad or upset or whatever, but I won't let it affect anything. And I feel like I got a little bit stubborn. I shouldn't have played blackjack at that first place. It would have freed me up to play blackjack at a different place, which has a lot better penetration and a lot better rules. I'm going to make sure that I'm paying attention to that, and I keep that under control, and we'll get better. We all get better every day. So tomorrow is going to be a huge day. Hoping that home life will allow it. If so, I'm planning on a very big day tomorrow. I also have a lot of meetings tomorrow. It's going to be craziness tomorrow, and it may end up being an overnight. I have no idea. I do have a ton of work to do tonight, and I do have to take care of the kids and all that kind of stuff. Talk to the doctor. Everything is good, and everyone's going to be able to come home, and everything's going to be fine, hopefully, long term. So right now, I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.